In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use an automation, a workflow to find customers on Reddit. There are thousands of people across Reddit talking about their problems, their pain points, and looking for a lot of solutions. So maybe what you are trying to sell them, whether that's a product or a service, could solve that problem. It is not practical for you to go through all the posts on Reddit, right? Because there are millions of them coming on every day. So what we are going to do is we will pick one subreddit and we will pick one keyword at a time, and we will find all the posts in that subreddit which mention that keyword. Then we will give that post to AI to analyze whether that post is actually looking for a solution like yours or a service like yours. And if it is, then we will generate a personalized comment that you can put on that post, which will not only make that person engaging and interesting for you, but also actually respond to you and maybe even check out your product or service. And then this workflow will actually go on Reddit and post that comment. Now, the most exciting part of this workflow is this is something that will cost you very little, and it is really simple to build. And this is also extremely easy to scale. So I will show you a very good bonus tip at the end, which will allow you to scrape thousands of posts across subreddits, across keywords, and just really kick back and relax and watch your matrix, your visits go up, relevant customers go up every day because you're reaching out to them automatically in their time of pain using this workflow. So let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to have an access to something called N8N. Right, so N8N is a service. It's an automation service. It's a workflow builder which you can use to basically build workflows. Right, so there are lots of videos on YouTube, and if this is something you would like to learn, maybe I will put my videos next time on that. So you need to get an access to this service. Either you can sign up for a free trial, or you can host this service on your own computer or a laptop if you know what self-hosting means and how it works. I will link a good article in the description which will teach you how to do it if you're looking for that. So that is the first part. You need access to this service. After getting access to that service, you need to set up two important things. Now, when you run this workflow, you don't want to comment on the same post, or you don't want to scan the same post again and again and again, right? So what we need to do is we need to maintain a list of posts that we have already dealt with, right? So what it means is if you've already seen at a particular post URL, we don't want to look at that again. That will waste your AI credits. That will also waste your time. So you need to maintain that sheet, and to access that sheet you need Google Sheets API. So that is the first thing that we will set up. Second thing is Reddit API. So again, since you are going to fetch posts from Reddit and post your comment on Reddit, you will need access to Reddit API. So I will quickly show you how to do both of these. So first thing is you need to go to prefs/app, reddit.com/prefs/app. Click on are you a developer, create an app. So yeah, click on that, give it a some name. You can give it any kind of description, and in the about URI and redirect URI, what you need to show is this. So you need to paste this particular URL. So I will explain what this is if you don't know what it is, but for now just remember that you need to copy this URL and paste it here. And after pasting it there, what you need to do is you need to check this box. Okay, let's see if it's a, yeah, this is a bridge. Let's verify. Please don't say I'm a robot. Okay, now that's it. Create an app. Great. Now you have a secret. This is called a secret, and this is the web app client ID. So we will use this, paste it here, and we will use the secret and paste it here. Now once we do that, we will click on connect. There will be a connect button for you, and voila, your Reddit account will be connected with Reddit. Okay, so that is the first part. You need to connect with your Reddit API. I'm deleting this because I don't use this account and it's a demo account. But if you need any help, again, I will put a very helpful tutorial. Also, one very important thing, you can get a directly linked Open Docs button here, which good people of Anytone have put here. So you can just take the tutorial out if you're having a problem in setting up Reddit API. The second part is Google APIs. Now, what is Google APIs? So if you want to use Google Sheets API, what you will need access to the Google's Sheets API. So how do you do that? This is how you do that. So you go to console.cloud.google.com/APIs and you open that. Okay, let's go there. And here you can search for Google Sheets. All right, you click on that. Now here you will see an enable button in case you don't have it enabled already. I am saying manage because I already have it enabled. Okay, so you click on enable. After doing that, you go to this API, this URL, which is API/dashboard. Go to credentials, click on create credential, then click on OAuth client ID. Great. Then click on web application and again give it a name, which is, we'll call it demo. In these two parts, you can leave the JavaScript origins empty. You'll have to use this one, authorize redirect URIs. Here I will post the same callback URL because the callback is actually going to the same place, right? And just for the safety, we'll also add the origin. And in my case, the origin is this. So I'll just add that. Now, in your case, this will look something like this. Let's say throughmail n8n.n8n.io, right? Or something like this, growthhub.io. Because if you make an account on n8n platform, it will look like that. So yeah, whatever instructions you are seeing there, just follow that. After that, you click on create, and once you click on create, it will give you client ID and client secret. Now I am going to delete this obviously because I don't want it to get misused by any people. Yep, delete it. Great. Right, so now once you have Google Sheets and Reddit posts API linked, you are almost ready to go. Now let me explain the workflow for you. So this is called a manual trigger, which means when I click on this button, only then this workflow will run. If instead of this I wanted to schedule it such that it should run every night, right? Then I can use a different kind of trigger called on schedule. Or if I want to accept a webhook, like someone submits a form, only then run this workflow, then I will use that on app event. But in this case, I will stick to manual trigger. The next one is this Reddit node. How do you add that? You click on this plus button, search for Reddit, and here you will see a lot of options. In your case, what you're looking for is get a post or search for a post, right? We are looking at search node, so search for a post. You click on that, that will give you this node. Here you will have to add your credentials in case you have not added. I just showed you how to get those credentials. In resource, select a post, search operation, subreddit. We are doing it via subreddit, not all of Reddit. In subreddit, I am selecting procurement and I'm selecting tool as the keyword. So what this thing will do is it will fetch all the posts on subreddit, on this subreddit called procurement, which are mentioning tool word in those posts, right? That is the first thing it will do. The next part is it will fetch all the posts which are already in my Google Sheet. So this is the sheet. It will fetch all the posts from here, and I have some 500 posts here, 600 now. So it will fetch all the posts, and this is how it will do it. So I add my Google credentials. I will select share within document, get rows, right? That is the function that I want to use. There are many options here, but we will stick to get rows. Now in document, you will see many options. You want to select or the sheet that you have created. So yeah, one more thing. You should create a sheet, a Google Sheet, a new Google Sheet every time you start, you create this kind of a workflow, right? And you should name a few columns there. So probably the bare minimum column you should always keep is two things, which is post link, so that you can find duplicate links that basically posts that you've already addressed and you don't scan them and use them again and again, and comment. These are the bare minimum things that you should always track. You can track other things if you want, like I've done other things like subreddit and post title, post content, relevant, and whether this post is relevant or not, I'm also tracking that, right? So there are other things here, but you should always at least track these two. Now select that sheet. Now within that document also you will have one or more sheets. If you have just created it, you will have only one sheet. Select that and that's it. You're good to go. You don't need to do much here. Now this is the important part. The next step, right? So basically what is happening here is after you run this Reddit node, two different workflows are getting triggered. So one is this Google Sheet, fetch items from Google Sheet, and second one is process the data that came from Reddit. So what we are basically doing here, let me just run this quickly so I can show it to you live. Great. So what we are basically doing here is we are taking this output and we're giving it a name. So I'm taking one particular variable, one particular value like this self text, which is the post text in this kind of format, and I'm giving it a name. Okay, I can name this anything, but for the sake of my workflow, I've just kept it as it is returned from Reddit's API. Now, if you don't understand this, let me just explain this quickly what this is. So in this particular node of process fields, what it does is it will take one or more fields from previous nodes and give it a value or a name basically. So how it works, let's say I want to pass this clicked variable to the next node. So I will just drag and drop it here, and this will become a distinct value that I pass on. The name is here. I can name this anything, ABCD, and this value is this clicked of the previous node. Now this will change obviously for every item and every loop. This is not static, and this is how init describes it. So JSON.clicked is the output of immediate previous node. Other nodes are mentioned with name like this, right? So, but yeah, that's the bare minimum thing. You don't need to focus much about that. You can just copy paste from my screen. Basically, what it has done is for different values that I need in the down flow, I have just dragged and dropped them here one by one. Okay, so once these two nodes are executed, this is the third node, which is called a code node. So code node means a lot of times you want to execute a little complicated operations, and it would make really complicated workflow if I did it in n8n's own nodes. Sometimes it's not possible at all. So there, what we do is we try to inject code to do the job. It makes the whole workflow simpler. So this is a code node. What this node is doing basically is it is getting all the posts which are in my Google Sheet that has returned from the API. Then it is converting all the posts and just fetching the URLs from those posts. Okay. So this post URL is a column in my sheet, right? This post URL, this is what it's called. So it's fetching all the post URLs and assigning them to a list called existing URLs. And after doing that, the actual feed that came from Reddit, right? This code is going one by one over all the items that came from Reddit and checking if this new item is in my sheet. If it is not, only then it is passed forward with a key called is new post equals true. Okay, so it's a fairly simple code, and you don't have to, make this more complicated. You can just copy paste this from my screen, or you can just, you don't have to type it. You can just feed this to AI and tell it to write it for you. Okay, now after doing that, the next thing that we do is we have this loop node, because here we are getting many items, and we want to, and here we are filtering out. So out of, let's say, 200 items that I got from Reddit, only 50 are new. Now I want to iterate over all 50 and decide whether the post is relevant or irrelevant, first of all. Second, if it is irrelevant, then still log it in my sheet so that I don't scan it next time. And if it is relevant, then go and post a comment, right? That is what this workflow is. So that is why we have this loop node. It feeds this item. Now this node does not have any significance. It has a batch size of 1. You don't have to think too much about it. Just keep it at 1 for now. It feeds each item one by one to this AI node. Now this is where your magic is happening. All right. So let me just show this to you quickly what it is. So this new node that n8n has introduced, I think last year, it allows you to use AI inside n8n. So what it means is if you click on this plus icon, which means you want to add a node, click on advanced AI and then click on this AI agent thing. It will add this node. This node has four connections. One is the model that you want to use, the memory tool. Tool is for any MCP that you want to connect. If you don't know that, just ignore it, doesn't matter for this workflow. And output parser. Again, these three don't matter for us right now. Only thing that matters is the chat model that we are going to focus on. All right, so I have to add this node, and then the important part is I have to select a model that I want to use. Now in my particular case, in this case, what I've done is I have taken a copy of Llama model which is from Facebook, and I've hosted it on my own computer. You don't have to do this. If you know how to do it, that's great, but you don't have to do this. You can go to Open Router. Okay, you just create an account, a free account, go to models, and here you can select this particular model. It's right here, Llama 3.38b instruct. Now a lot of people will say this is so weak and stupid model, but for our purpose this will do. And in fact the model that I'm using is much older, which is Llama 3 and of 7 billion parameters, so it's even dumber than this one that I'm suggesting. The the good part is our task is fairly simple, so we don't have to really do anything about it, and that's the beauty of it. So let me just show you how to use it, right? So this is how you do it. So this is the model that is already connected in my workflow. I will add an open router API. So I will click on this plus icon. I will see a lot of options here. I will click on this open router chat model. Now again the credentials. Yeah, I don't want to show the credentials part. All right, so the next part that I will show you is, like I said, that one by one each item is being fed to this particular agent. Here I've connected a Llama model. What that means is you can go to open um, Ollama.com and download this. Just click on this download and download the Ollama service on your computer. Once you download it, go to models. Here find Llama 3 somewhere. Yeah, here it is. And select this one. All right, select that, open terminal. Now if you're on MacBook, it's terminal. If you're on Windows, it is CMD. Open that and do Ollama pull and paste. Okay, this is, and then press enter. Now I won't do it because I already have this model, but once you do it, what you will get is you have an Ollama service which is running. It looks like this, right? It is running, you can see here, and you have the model loaded inside that service as well. So because you downloaded that service, you ran it, and you loaded your model. Once you do that, you will be able to use this. Okay, so what is this? Let me show how it you can get it. So you click on this plus icon. Here you will see a lot of options. Click on Ollama chat model, and in your chat model you will require to add credentials. Now this is fairly simple because you're connecting from your own PC, so you just have to add where your Ollama is running. If you're running this local in Docker, then this is the credential. If you're running it somewhere else, then you add that URL here. Again, also very simple. You can use AI to get this answer. And if it is something that is confusing you, just leave a comment. I will immediately respond and I will help you out. No problem there. Alright, so now once you have your model connected and once you have your agent node set up, the next part is what we want to do. We want to feed the Reddit post, which is the title, description, and the post URL to this AI, and we want to give it a really good prompt. Now this is where the real magic is happening. Alright, so let me just show it to you. The prompt that we have added. Again, you can just copy paste this from my screen itself. So the prompt says that you are an expert in this software analysis, the kind of software which I'm trying to promote here. It has a task defined, it says a bit about my software, it gives a lot of relevant keywords, then it gives instructions for analysis, it specifically defines the output format, it gives certain guidelines, and then it gives examples for positive and negative. When the post is matching my intention, what should be the output, and when the post is not, what should be the output, right, in terms of format. Now with this kind of a prompt, you can get a really high quality output even from a model like Llama 3 and the dumb version of Llama 3. So that is the beauty of it. Why do I use it, you might ask? It's because it's free and it's super fast. If I used a larger model, it would take a while. So once you do that, let's do that. The next part is this. Again, it's a code node. Now this code, what does it do? What it basically does is your model is giving you a big string of JSON. So if you don't know what it means, I will show you. Great. So it is giving you this. Your model is giving you this in the output. Okay, this is called a string. But it's not good enough because you have to convert that into this, right? Because this is what you'll need to send in the Reddit's API call. So that is why we are using this code node. You can just copy and paste this from my screen. You don't have to worry too much about it, what it does. But basically what it's doing is it's using a bunch of regex to convert JSON or a string into a JSON format, and it is pulling the right keys from that JSON and forwarding it to the next nodes. Now let's see. So now the last part is once it is forwarded to the Reddit node, what does it do? So this is what it does. From your previous node, I mean your AI output is formatted now in this JSON format, and what you need to do is you need to give two inputs to your Reddit comment node. Okay, so again, let me show you how to create this kind of a node. So you search for Reddit, then you search for create a comment in a post. Okay, click on this, and that will give you this node. So here you have to mention the post ID and what is the comment that you want to make. All right, so I'll just delete this and I will show you the existing node. So here you can drag and drop your post ID which is coming from the previous node, okay, like this. And Same way you can drag the comment as well, which is coming from your previous node, and this is the comment that will be put on the Reddit flow finally. All right. So now this is your complete flow, and the one part that I have not been able to show is if AI decides that this post is not relevant for your product, then it will still go ahead and log that post in the Google Sheet, but not post it on Reddit, anything, right? And it will simply move on to the next part of the loop, next post, and so on. So once you put this entire workflow in motion, you will be able to get maybe 100, maybe 1,000 or 10,000 posts, and this workflow will go through every single post one by one and decide whether that post, that user is asking for a product like yours or a service like yours. And if he is, then this workflow will actually go there and comment and promote you. And it's not some generic comment, it's a personalized comment. So let me just show you a bunch of comment that is created by my own this workflow. All right, so let me just go to my Reddit account. Now this is a product that I've been working on very passionately, so that is what I have been posting about and promoting. Let me just show you an example. So it looks something like this. This person, okay, he's asking for some mid-range procurement product, and my workflow has said that yeah, I can help you with that. My product is a great option, why don't you go and check us out. Now this is something so short and personal and relevant for him after deciding that yeah, he's actually looking for a product like mine. All right, so that's how this workflow works, and thank you so much guys for watching this video. I'm sure you would have a lot of questions. Feel free to leave them in the comment or reach out to me. I will be more than happy to help you. And if you want this workflow, you can just buy it from the link for a very good price. So I will give it away to my YouTube followers at $9 per workflow. I usually give this each workflow for $300 plus, but you can have it at $9 a piece, and with the link that is in the description.